And the first principle we have for cities should be designed and planned as a water supply catchment, which is so different from how all traditional cities have been planned. Cities have been planned drawing water from big dams outside of the city and bringing it in. While we say that before you do that, you should look at what you can get from within your cities. Look at initiatives for water recycling. Look at initiatives for stormwater harvesting, groundwater replenishment, water circular economy. And how does different cities have responded to that first principle? I'll give you an example, Singapore. Singapore is one that we work with, whereby they now have 4 water sources, a portfolio of water sources, whereby they are now much more self-sustaining in what they can do internally before they take water from Malaysia at Johor Bahru into Singapore. Yeah. In terms of the most recent examples of this is, of course, in Melbourne, Fisherman's Bend. This is a delivery of an industrial area just outside of CBD of Melbourne that is now going to be turned to a new urban center, housing additional 100,000 people. And how does this concept of cities as water supply catchment come into it? We are actually looking at now local wastewater recycling at the building scale as well as at the precinct scale. At the building scale, for instance, planning policies are now basically saying all new buildings must collect all their grey water, which is from the basin, from the bath, right? Collected at the end of the building and reused for toilet flushing. It is as simple as that. That within building design, need to change to look at internal use. At the same time, that whole precinct, which is right at the end of Melbourne, basically say that you now look at harvesting water from their sewers and treating it again for non-drinking purposes. Now, why do they need to do that? At the end of the city, Melbourne being a traditional city, all the infrastructure of water supply comes from outside into it. And all the sewage get pumped to a sewage treatment plant. When you put a new 100,000 people into the city, what do you need to do for your infrastructure? You've got to either bring in new pipes and bigger pumps, or you run that precinct almost as if there is no additional 100,000 people through recycling.